that undefeated shit, right? I think a lot of people are being hard on Sean right now, thinking like, he's done, what a fall from grace. And in my opinion, I'm thinking like this guy's still, I know you're a bantamweight as well, so don't get it twisted with this one, but he's still kind of like the second best bantamweight in the world, in my opinion. Like
Bro,
I don't see him falling off to like below top 10, even below top five, really.
bro, I'm saying, dude, but that's what I'm saying. People get caught up in all that stuff. They get caught up in all these people and what they're saying. They don't even understand what they're saying, bro. He just fought Merab, the champion of the world, the machine. You're gonna count him out from every other fight because of that one performance? Man,
Exactly.
are you really a fan? Are you really a fan? You know what I'm saying? That comes to that's all momentary things. Like people say love, they know what love is. That's not love. People will tell you, "Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you." Please don't say that to me because I mean it when I say I love you, and the love that I have goes beyond your performance. You know what I'm saying? And people have loved Sugar because of his climb to fame instead of loving him as genuine as they should. And I think Suge's finding that out right now too. And I think that's why he's detached away from a lot of this other stuff because he's realized like it's so fake. A lot of it's not real. And I think he wants to do real things because he's a genuine guy still. Like people don't know him like that. But this dude does a lot for the people around him. He's built like he's the facility that he's built at his house and the amount of people that come around and around him that he's taking care of. That doesn't come lightly. That doesn't come with like a light heart. That comes, or with a heavy heart. That comes lightly. So man, it blows me away. People are so fast to count people out. But I think he's gonna come back and he's gonna prove people wrong. You'll see all those same people that were talking jump right back on his bandwagon.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's two cases where I think sometimes you do hear all the negativity, unfortunately. It outweighs the positive. But I also think I've been thinking about this more so lately. I think the betters have something to do with it. The gamblers, those are the ones, they love you. They'll be in your DMs like, I love you, Marcus, after a win. Because he
Yep.
made them some cash, right? But then, when you lose them some cash, I feel like their anger, depending on how much they bet on you or some shit, they take it out on you. Maybe even
Yep.
through their social media accounts. I think a lot of the Twitter accounts too, I think they're betting accounts. I think a lot of them are like gamblers and shit.
Yeah. No,
So then the
100%.
voice speaks out because if those are the ones who have all those Twitter accounts, you hear about it more.
That's what it is. That's what it is. And I think that's why, again, not getting caught up in the banter because who are these accounts that are saying all these things? You go to these accounts and you look at who they are. You see some of these guys are doing that, like Jamal Hill, go to these accounts and see who they are. And you're just like, bro, I'm going to pray for this person. They're obviously going through a whole lot in life. They put $15 that they shouldn't even put on a bet, and that was their last $15 and they lost it. And now they're coming to you and acting like you're the problem. You know what I'm
Like it's
saying?
your
Like,
fault.
like it's your fault, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And that's human nature, right? So yeah, more power to those guys.
I feel you. Okay, two more. I just wanted to say one thing about Jamal Hill, which is just that um I've always been a big fan of Jamal because I'm a guy who I just like a guy who comes out and fights and it's a really good, exciting fight. And somebody like Jamal who also can like put a stamp on it with some of his trash talk. I enjoy it. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? But then I be seeing comments too where they're like, it's so hard to like Jamal. It's like you can't even get past like his personality because really it's all about the fighting. You know what I mean? And Jamal does nothing but put on good fights, even when he lost to Yuri. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like that was a great fight at the end of the day. And he,
yeah,
he goes on his shield. It's
yeah.
way better than a guy who fights safe.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then even like as far as his mannerisms, whatever you guys see on him people are so concerned what they see on Instagram. Man, they see what you see what people want you to see. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know Jamal Hill. So I can't get with Jamal Hill. You don't know him. You know what I'm
Yeah, you
saying?
just
Why are
see
you
like
so
maybe some trolling or something. Like,
Yeah, you don't know this man. You don't know his theories on things. You don't know this guy. So take a seat back. I'm sure he wouldn't mess with you either, you know what I'm saying? Because you give up on everything you try in life, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so all that stuff aside, Jamal Hill's cool. I met him in person and dude, he was a cool dude, you know what I'm saying? Real smooth, real charismatic type of dude. And yeah, I'm sure he has that other side to him, just like I do. And I think the Lord has helped me really cage that side and put that side away because of who I want to be and the character I want to exude. But there's not a part of me that sits there and says like I would not react or do anything outside of my character because I absolutely still can, and I remind myself of that regularly. You are just a man. That's what uh that's what Marcus Aurelius, this guy, used to say to him all the time, just to remind him, you're just a man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Don't get too big for your britches. But yeah, because you're kind of saying you used to be a little bit more like crazy, right? But you've mellowed out a lot over the years.
100%.
Yeah,
A
for sure.
hundred percent. Yeah. People don't even realize that. They're like, oh no, I've known you for 10 years and you've been cool. I'm like, that was 25 years old, bro. Like, what was I doing before 25 years old? Yeah, go back, go talk to some of those folks, bro. They'll let you know. Like, I definitely had a lot of different issues and things that I had to grow with, and I made those that growth, and that's why again, like I love so much more of those things. I'm so happy that I've been able to do what I've done in the UFC and in MMA period. And the growth that I've been able to make as a human being through martial arts supersedes all of my accolades in the arena.
Definitely, yeah, and that's one of the best things about martial arts is, like, you're forced to confront yourself, right? I think that's one of the
Exactly.
big reasons why fighters are so humble at the end of the day, and, like, down
Exactly.
to earth and kinda, like, real, you know?
100%. We've been at the bottom. We've been at so for especially the people that have been at the bottom and been at the top. You understand that you can't stay at the bottom for too long, and you can't stay at the top for too long. You got whether you're regardless of where you're at, even if you're at the top, don't let yourself stay there too long. Don't let yourself mentally stay there too long because you'll get caught up, and then again when it does drop a little bit, you'll be like, oh my god, things are, and it's like no, everything's still good. You know.
Definitely, yeah. And you see that, with Suga, he kind of is able even though he lost, he sounds like he's kinda level-headed, so he's been considering all those things, even you're saying. That's a big part for fighters because you see all these issues that kinda happen with some of the retired guys. I think it's because maybe they rode the highs and the lows a little bit too much, when they're not fighting, maybe they're, like, drinking, partying, and stuff, and then when they're winning, they're also celebrating a lot, so